let me get to the point where I can see this file. Okay. So I can read it enough. I don't know if Jackson can or not.
I can.
You can. Okay, good. So for this first one, first of all, tell me what slope-intercept form is. Y what?
Y plus mx plus b.
Y equals mx plus.
Yeah, y plus mx plus b.
Where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. That's why it's called slope-intercept, okay? So what we have is 2x minus 7, 2x minus y equals 7. So I got to turn that format into that format. In other words, I got to solve this equation for y. So how do you solve that equation? This equation right here, I got to just solve it for y. I got to get it to where y is on one side all by itself. Everything else is on the other.
You subtract 2x from...
Okay, so tell me what the next line should be that I'm going to write. When you're solving equations, you're going to write one line and then the next line, and then finally you're going to have y equals something.
2x minus 7 equals y.
Pretty good. You did it all in one step. 2x minus 7, I moved the 7 to that side, I moved the y to the other side, and that I don't need to rewrite. That's in slope-intercept format. What's the slope?
2.
What's the y-intercept?
7.
Minus 7.
Negative 7, sorry.
So if I'm plotting it, there's negative 7. That's 1 point. And then I got a slope of positive 2, meaning I go up 2 over to the right.
7. Oh, wait, no.
1. And then I connect that, and that's how I graph it. It didn't ask you to graph it, because all it did was ask you to put it into this format. And I can rewrite that. You'll notice that y doesn't have to be on the left. It can be on the right. If I want to switch places, I can. In other words, that's the answer that they're probably looking for. Although what you gave me was absolutely correct. You could have put that down and there's no way she should mark it wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one. It's all about solving equations. So this is the same thing. I got to end up with y equals. So
yeah.
Give me the second line that I need. In other words, how am I going to manipulate this equation?
1/4 x minus 2/7 equals y.
Okay.
Oh, y equals 1/4 x minus 2/7.
Okay. First of all, that was really close. And I see why you made a mistake on the other end. Okay. First of all, let's take a look at this equation. Okay. The y, and we need it to be a plus y, is already there. So the only thing I need to do is get rid of that 1/4 x. Well, when I move that 1/4 x to the other side, what does it become? I have to subtract 1/4 x from both sides. In other words, I'm subtracting 1/4 x there, which means I got to subtract 1/4 x over here. So what's the right side read now? Read that and put it in order of mx plus b. In other words, here's what we're looking at on the right side. I believe that's a negative 2/7, is it not? Okay, so that's what we got, but it's not in the right order. We've got y equal that, but it's not quite in slope-intercept form.
Y equals negative 1/4 x minus.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's all any of these are, is they're just equations that you're solving for y. Now, notice why you initially got that wrong. You put the y on the other side, and you move the 2/7 to that side. So the problem is that when you put that y on the other side, it makes it minus y, not plus y. I cannot move something to the other side of an equation unless I change its sign. So I end up with minus y, and then you still have your 1/4 x, add 2/7, but that's equal to minus y, not plus y. We got to have it equal to plus y. So it's far better off to, you've already got a plus y on that side of the equation. Let's just leave it there and move everything else.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Do we have to write the slope answers down, or do we just write the equations?
I'm sorry, what?
Do we have to write the like slope answers down, or do we have to just write the equations?
Just the equation. In other words, in this one, what you want to write is the following as your final answer. Y equal negative 1/4 x minus 2/7. That is in slope-intercept format. Part of slope, in other words, this is how it should be. Y equal mx plus b. Notice the x comes first. That's why I moved that 1/4 x to the left.
Yeah.
So the slope is what of our equation?
The slope is 1/4.
Negative 1/4.
Yeah.
Don't drop negative signs. You see the negative sign right there? Remember, I had to subtract 1/4 x to get it over to the other side. So that's where that negative sign came from. But slope is the entire coefficient. So in this case, the slope is negative 1/4. And b is negative 2/7. Don't drop negative signs. All right, let's take this third one. I'm going to write it a little bigger so we can see it. 3x minus 5y equals minus 20. Solve that for y. That's always what you want to do when you're trying to put it in slope-intercept form. Solve it.
Isn't it negative 5y equals 3x minus 20?
Got to change the sign on that 3x. You're moving it to the other side. Negative 3x minus 20. And we still haven't solved for y. What's y?
Y is 25.
No, first of all, what do I got to get rid of to solve for y?
5.
Minus 5. Don't drop negative signs. How do I get rid? What is that minus 5 currently doing? Is it a multiplier? Is it being added? Is it being subtracted? Is it being divided?
Subtracted.
Actually not. It's a multiplier. When you see that, it's 5 times y. And the negative sign in front of it is merely, it's minus 5 times y. So it is a multiplier. So what do I need to do to get rid of the minus 5?
Divide?
Yeah. You always do the opposite. Divide the left side by minus 5. Divide the entire right side by minus 5. But that's the same as dividing it by minus 5 and it by minus 5. In other words, the way I'm really going to do the right side is that way. I'm going to turn it into 2 fractions. Okay? With me?
Yeah.
So what is y equal to? The minus 5's cancel. That's why we divided by minus 5. So we would get rid of everything. What's the rest of it going to be? What's this become?
Y equals 2x.
Hold on. We got minus 3x divided by minus 5. What does that equal to? When it has to be in slope-intercept form, we need a coefficient in front of the x. First of all, what's a minus 3 divided by minus 5 going to be? Minus divided by minus becomes what?
2. Positive, so it's a 2.
Positive, not 2, positive. So that becomes 3/5 x. Okay, so I can write that. That's just 3/5 x. Now, what does that become? I got minus 20 divided by minus 5.
Positive 4.
Good, very good. There's your answer. In other words, you always want it to end up being y equals some coefficient times x plus or minus another number. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at number 4. Graph the linear equation using intercepts. It says use a graphing calculator to check your graph. We won't need to do that. Let me tell you what they're talking about by using intercepts. If I have a graph, and that graph goes through there, that's the intercept. If I have a graph that goes through there, I've got a y-intercept, and I have an x-intercept. In the first case, all I had was an x-intercept. That was just an x-intercept. Okay? So, we know that this is going to be some straight line. Every one of these equations is a linear equation, which means it's a straight line. Okay? So, we're not going to solve these the same way. These first 3 problems we solved for y because we were trying to put it into slope-intercept form. Well, that's not what they're doing here. Now, there's a very important concept in math you have to memorize.
Yeah.
X-intercepts come when y equals 0.
Yeah.
Y-intercepts come when x equals 0. So tell me what the x-intercept here is. Give me the x-intercept. In other words, what they want us to calculate here are the x-intercepts, the y-intercepts. Connect those 2 dots and you'll have your straight line.
3? Negative 3? No.
What is y equal to when you're looking for the x-intercept?
0.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to plug in 0 for y, and now we got 2x equal 12. Solve that for x.
6.
Okay, that's your x-intercept. So if I go over here to my graph, the x-intercept comes, not very nice of them to not give you a big enough graph, but it would come at 6, right there. Okay? Now, let's figure out the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept equal to? Remember, that's the function right there.
Yeah.
So what am I going to set equal to what to figure out the y-intercept?
Yeah.
What is x equal to when we're looking for the y-intercept?
0?
Yeah. Remember what I told you when we first started talking about this. When you're looking for the x-intercept, you make y 0. That's how we got this. when we're looking for the y-intercept, we make x 0. Well, if I plug in 0 for x up here, I got 0 minus 3y equal 12. What's y equal to? That's going to be my y-intercept. If minus 3y equals 12, what is y equal to?
3 minus y equals 12.
Hold on. Let's back up.
Sorry.
All right. Have a sound problem or something. Okay, here's what I'm doing. This is my equation.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the y-intercept. So I'm going to let x equal 0. 2 times 0. That's always the first step, is to let the other variable be 0.
4? It's 4?
What is
Y
2?
is 4.
What is almost? What's 2 times 0, first of all, is 0, right?
Yeah.
So I can erase that whole thing. But I cannot erase that negative sign.
Oh, it's
Do
negative
not drop negative signs. I'm going to say it every single time you do it. And at some point, you're going to stop doing it. Okay? So what is y equal to?
Negative 4.
There you go. So now, if I want to graph that, my y-intercept is right there. That's negative 4, I presume. And my x-intercept is not even on their chart, but I can approximate where it would be. X equals 6. Connect them with a straight line. There you have it.
Or you can count by 2s. You can count by 2s, right? And you have 6.
So, yeah, no, you're right. They have not put a grid on this graph. All they said is that point right there is 0, but they haven't told us what each grid mark is. So if you want to make up your own grid mark and assume there's 2 between each one, well, then there is 6 for the x-intercept, and there is minus 4 for the y-intercept, and then that's my line, but the grid is different. Each unit is 2, like that. Usually if they do not label a grid like this, then it's 1 unit between each grid line.
Okay.
Okay. All right, number 5. We got x plus 9y equal minus 27. Same exact process. Tell me what the x-intercept's going to be.
1.
What are you going to make y to solve for the... Remember, when you're solving for the x-intercept, you got to start by making the other variable 0.
So, positive 27.
There you go. That's the x-intercept. What's the y-intercept?
3. Negative 3, I think. No, positive 3, yeah.
You were close.
Negative 3.
Okay, here's what I've got. I'm going to make x 0, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I got left over. I solve that for y. Always do these one step at a time. I notice one thing you like to do is 2 steps at a time. Don't.
Yeah.
Just do it 1 step at a time. Solve this equation now.
Wouldn't that be 3?
Well, what's the 9 doing?
Divided.
It's multiplying the y right now. So we got to divide to get rid of it. And what is that answer?
3.
Negative 27 divided by 9.
Negative 3.
Negative 3. There is a giant difference. If you put 3, you will get the entire answer wrong. Do not drop negative signs. All right. Here, I want you, we don't have much time left. We've got just a few minutes. I'm just going to test you on what that web page that I sent you to. I want to make sure you're practicing these regularly. So let's spend just a couple of minutes going over these. And I want you to do this without a calculator as fast as you can.
-5.
No. Remember how we do these. When you have subtraction, what you're doing is you're changing it to an addition. There's your subtraction sign, correct?
Yeah.
That's not the subtraction sign here. That is a negative sign.
Yeah.
This is the subtraction. So when I am doing a subtraction problem that involves other negative numbers, the best way to always do it is to turn it into an addition sign. How do I do that?
Use.
Well, I turn the subtraction sign into an addition sign. That's an easy enough step. But I can't do that unless I do something else. It's not the same mathematically. You can't just arbitrarily change a subtraction sign into an addition sign. You have to do something else.
You have to make 6 -6.
Not the 6. What was being subtracted? That's what we have to change.
+11.
Correct. In other words, if I'm going to turn it into an addition, I got to turn that sign to opposite of what it was. Now what's our answer? We got 6 plus 11.
5.
6 plus 11. When you have 2 pluses, that's 1 plus.
Oh, yeah, that's 17.
Huh? You have got to get where you are going to do perfect on every problem here. It's the only way. There's no other way you're getting good at math.
Okay.
Okay, so what's this one?
It's 9.
Go on.
12.
Go on.
Oh.
That's 96. I don't really expect you to be able to, I don't expect anybody to be able to do 1 digit times 2 digits. Okay? So this is different. This is division. There is a number that multiplies times -7 that equals 56. What is it?
8.
Correct. But is it +8 or -8?
Think positive because 56 is bigger than.
Okay. You're forgetting a very basic premise here. Plus divided by minus is minus, always.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, plus divided by minus equals minus. Minus divided by plus equals minus. Minus divided by minus equals plus, and plus divided by plus equals plus. Those 4 rules you have to know.
Okay.
What do we have here? Which are those 4 cases?
Plus divided by a minus.
Correct, right there. That's a -8. Okay?
Okay.
Just do 1 or 2 more. I want you to practice these. You're not going to get good on it. I can't help you get good on these. There's nothing I can do to help you get good on these. The only way you're going to get good, and by good I mean perfect, is to just spend some time every day practicing these. It's not going to happen otherwise. Nobody can do a Vulcan mind meld on you and get you to do this. You've got to develop this skill yourself. So what is
15.
-10 minus 5?
15.
Okay, which is the subtraction sign? Is it the first dash or the second dash?
Oh, no, that's 5. 805, right?
Answer
5.
the question that I asked, rather than jumping ahead to the answer. What's the subtraction sign? Is it the negative sign in front of the 10 or the 5?
The 5.
All right. So that's what I'm going to change to a plus. What was being subtracted?
10.
5, right?
Yes, sir.
So I got to change that to a minus 5.
Yeah.
In other words, if I change that subtraction to a positive, I got to change something else. I just can't do the 1 only. So now we have this. And now I'll bet you get this in an instant. People don't get this wrong. It's the negative 15.
Yeah.
Okay? It's only when it's written like this that people have troubles with it. If you just follow my rule, change every subtraction problem to an addition problem. Well, first of all, you have to identify what the subtraction sign is.
Yeah.
I change it, but what was being subtracted was a positive 5. Now what is being added is a negative 5. Okay?
Okay.
Jackson, I'm going to let you go, but I want you to practice this page.
Okay.
It's the best thing you could possibly do for your math, and that includes tutoring. This is more valuable to you than tutoring.
Okay.
It'll solve you all the mistakes you're making. You won't make any mistakes if you know how to do these.
Okay.
Okay? Jackson, have a good day. One last thing. Are either of your parents there?
Hey Dave, I'm here. This is
Hi,
Phil.
Phil. Jackson's got an appointment at 10:30 on Sunday.
Yep.
Is there any way I can move that to 10?
Sure. Do you want to just send us a confirmation email confirming that?
Well, yeah, I will. Who do you want me to send it to? You or Desiree?
Send it to Desiree. I'm gonna be working on Sunday.
Okay, that's my problem. Is I'm going to be working all Sunday afternoon, and I didn't give myself quite enough lead time.
Yeah, no problem.
So I will send her an email telling her that Sunday appointment is at 10.
Thanks, David. Appreciate your time. And then, are you going to invoice us? What do we need?
Yes, I will. I will invoice you. I just haven't done it yet.
No, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.